My name is Allie, and today I'm going to be presenting you my work from the last 4 years at Eastern Michigan University in the Fashion Marketing Innovation Program. Here you can see my table of contents and all of the work that I will be going through. Here you can see my resume with all of my past experience and skills and education and awards. The first project that I'm going to be showing you is my 6-month plan that I did for my retail buying class, where we went through 6 months of the children's department at the Perry's department store. And these are my percentages and sales, markdowns, purchases, season totals, and further information. Here you can see a few stock classifications for my children's department at the Perry's store. We go through different classifications of sweaters, knit tops, shirts, dresses, pants, shorts, collections, activewear and swimwear, underwear and socks, sleepwear, outerwear, accessories, newborn layettes, newborn plush, newborn gifts, sleepwear, playwear, dresswear, boys dresswear, outerwear, and bedding. Here you can see a newsletter that I designed for the Perry's department store for the children's department. I focused a lot here on different color trends and even did a gift with purchase for the sales promotion for that month. And this is the second page of different vendors that will be offered and key merchandise and classifications, as well as different trends that you will see in the market. For my next project, you'll see a little bit more creative examples from my CAD class. This was my first project that I did for my CAD class, and it is a crossbody side satchel purse. This were the inspirations, and I was inspired by these handbags from a trip that I took to Italy, and I purchased one of these bags at a local fair. This was my sketch of the crossbody, and I was very specific in what I sketched out, the sizing, the flaps, and it was just a really exciting project. I was really happy to accomplish this piece. Here you can see the digital pattern, which is called an orange peel, that I designed in the CAD program. Here is the cutter's must, which are different pieces that were sent to the industrial cutter that was used to complete the purse. Here are further processes that are necessary when sending product to the cutter. This is a model. And then you have the order. These are just different elements of the process of printing the fabric, or printing the pattern. This is the industrial cutter layout that the cutter is going to go through and how each pattern needs to be laid out. And this is the finished product. In conclusion with this project, I think I would have loved to have used a better fabric just because it was a vinyl, low cost. It was something that I could do quickly. If it were a project that I did again, I think I would use a more just more sustainable fabric, something that was a little bit more heavy duty, more reliable. This was my next project for my CAD class. I did this gown for my advanced CAD course, and this is the first time I had ever done a garment in CAD. Usually I would do things like purses or wallets, but this was a little bit more advanced. These are my inspirations for the gown. This is my sketch for the gown, and I really wanted to do something that was very geometric and something different that isn't really done a lot. And through the creation of the garment, I learned the importance of taking good measurements and how sewing techniques play a major role in construction of a garment. This project was also extremely time consuming, but I was really happy with how it finished. These are patterns that I had to create by draping. I made this project completely from scratch, so there was no pattern. I laid fabric onto a a body form and just cut away and created the pattern that I wanted. And here you can see me digitizing that same pattern. So I'm taking the pieces that I cut from the model and was making a digital pattern for them. So what I would do would go around each single pattern, making different points, and then that is then transferred to the computer, and then you get what you see in there in the corner, the orange peel. This is the cutter's must, so kind of like the previous project, these are all the pieces that have to be sent to the cutter, and in the corner you can see the fabric that was used. Again, the model, these are different processes that go into the printing, the order. Then you have the marker here, which is how the patterns are going to be laid out on the paper. And here you can see the industrial fabric cutter drawing out the pattern. And so from here, I would go through and cut the pattern out. Here you can see that same pattern on the actual body form. And this is the finished piece. I'm really happy with how this turned out. It was a little disappointing because I had plans to show it for my portfolio undergraduate symposium, but unfortunately COVID interrupted that, so I wasn't able to. Next, we have my sketches for my Adobe Illustrator class. This is a line that I designed, and I really love the idea of bees, and so I love to incorporating all these different bees into the designs. And I think my favorite piece from this collection was probably this jacket. The next is a print ad for my Photoshop class. I had to design the Burr by A line, and these are all garments from my own closet. And my whole inspiration for this line was everyday basics for the everyday woman. So basically, just items in your closet that you need to have all the time to pair with any outfit that is just going to take you to the next level. So these are the items that I think are necessary. This is a little bit of a different project that I worked on, which I really love. I took an AutoCAD class a few semesters ago, and I got to design my own floor plan. And the floor plan had to be complete with furniture, doors, windows, external measurements. And I really enjoyed this project because it was something different that I hadn't done in my educational career. Next, we're going to go into my internships. So this was an internship that I had with a company called Taeon. And basically, I was brought on to design this document, which is basically called a constant contact email PDF. So this is a document that customers would receive every month, and it would include new product for sale. And I really enjoyed this internship. I did things like unboxing shipments, organizing merchandise, trimming suits, dress forms, and communicating with clients. I also organized different procedures for the office flow and was really excited to even manage accounts receivable as well. Here is some more additional experience. I interned for the women's wear market in February 2020. I helped with sales representatives show their lines and write orders for customers. I was so glad to get this opportunity because it exposed me to business owners and industry professionals that I had not ever got to work with before. Here you can see me working with local jewelry designer Lauren Lennard for her company linked to FTB. I work as a brand representative and merchandiser, and I assist with her craft shows all over the Metro Detroit area. I was also given the Celebration of Excellence Award in March 2020. This was such an honor and accomplishment to be given this award because only one student is given this award for the whole year. So I was really honored to receive that, and normally we would have a big celebration and be honored in that way, but because of COVID we weren't. But nonetheless, I was still so happy to get to accept this award. Here you can see a little bit more experience that I have. So I'm involved in a nonprofit called the Michigan Soldiers Aid Society, where we participate in historical reenactments all over the Metro Detroit area, and we even design our own period correct garments. We help educate spectators on 1860s fashion, 1860s way of life. It's just a really exciting group that I really enjoy being a part of. And here are a little bit more photos. And this is something that I'm also really excited to share. During the COVID pandemic, I had so much extra scraps in my sewing closet of just extra material, and I noticed that there was a real need for masks during that time because stores couldn't keep up with the capacity that customers needed. So I started sewing masks, and I did about 100 masks, sold them in about 2 months. And I sold each mask at $10. And the only products that I had to purchase for this was just hair bands. Because elastic was completely sold out of the stores, I decided to use hair ties as the straps for the ears, and that really worked out because a lot of people weren't doing that at the time. So my costs were very low in regards to producing these, but my time was definitely something that was used a lot. And lastly, this is a podcast that I have created. I'm really excited to launch it in May of 2021. And it's a podcast called the Get Real Podcast, and I'm the host where I interview mental health professionals, friends, pastors, exercise coaches, and more. And it's just really designed for women who are really looking for raw and honest content for their everyday life and struggles, and it's something that I'm really excited about. And thank you very much. My name is Burgor, and this is my business card. If you guys have any further questions, I would be happy to answer them.